Okay, so now I'm going to do a video to cover the animation tools. So I'm just going to create two objects, have one limb, and then do a simple animation. This will be usable for really anything, dark, basic, AGK, whatever. So I'm going to reset the pivoting point of this. I'm just going to move it up right about there. Fix. So now when I rotate this thing, it rotates around that new pivot point. Okay. Now with that, I'm going to create a box, and that'll be the base limb. I'll go ahead and texture this one blue. I'll texture that one black. And this one, I'm going to attach the sphere. Okay. So now the sphere is attached to the box. I'm going to move that to the top like that. Okay, so now to do a simple animation, I have my object that has one limb. So anything I do with this box, it takes all of its limbs with it because it's the base object. All you got to do is change the frame number. So I'm going to advance this to frame 2. I'm going to move the box up. Notice how it went right back to its base pose. I did that purposely so it's easier to loop animations. Okay, so the way this is programmed is that you make changes to it and it always goes back to the base pose. So with this change, it's popped up. I go to the next frame. Say I wanted to start from its last position. I can say copy limb or copy object. That should copy all the previous animation from the last frame, which would be from this one. So I'm just going to hit copy limb. Okay, so now you'll see that I've got two frames that are exactly the same. Okay, now from there I'm going to make another adjustment. I'm going to move it down. I'm going to grab the next frame, copy it, and then move it back to the center. Slightly. Okay, I'll move it back up again. And then this one will bring it to the center. Okay, so we've got a 5-frame animation. So I'm just going to play it through here. And yeah, it looks extremely choppy, but those are just the frames that you've set. We can see the smooth representation of a DirectX file. If you click on that button there, it'll show you it smoothly. Okay. You can change the delay, so I'm going to put 200 in there. We'll check out the DirectX smooth version. Okay. Alright. So now I want to add a little something to this animation. I want to actually put in this limb moving around. I'm actually going to rotate it. So what I'll do is I'll rotate it off the Z here. Okay, we'll go like that. Okay, and then here I'm going to move it that way. And then I'm going to move it, actually not like that. Oh. Move it back, and then back to the center. So now if we play this, it's moving that limb as well. We can look at the smooth representation of it. Okay, it looks a lot more smoother, obviously. Now really, I mean, if I save this, export DirectX file, it's gonna with the texture and stuff, it's gonna load perfectly into Dark Basic. If you want to do this for AGK, use it in conjunction with these two functions to move your texture into one image, and then export DirectX frames. So what it does is it'll save a DirectX file for each frame, and then you can just port those into that website there, or import import them into there. It'll export it to OBJ files, and then you just put them into your AGK project folder. That's basically how that's done. Pretty simple. I do have two other buttons here, one that says 8 and one says 16. This is strictly for walking animations and stuff. Perfect example, I'm just going to delete this and show you really quick. If I load one of my characters in, my devil cat, okay, he does have a 4 animation. So if I hit play on this, he does his little walk. All I had to do was set frames here, where I changed his legs, his arms. Okay. Now it went back to the middle. That's one of the base. That's the base pose, and then I had to just do the animation, or I had to just bend the limbs for that next pose. Okay, and then again it goes back to the base pose. With this, now all I got to do is hit 8 or 16, depending on how many frames you're going to use for your AGK project. Maybe you're using 8, maybe you're using 16. I'm going to click the 16 button. Okay, so now you see that it says 16 here. What it's done is it redid the poses, so now there's more frames in between. Okay, and you didn't have to actually do every single little advancement on each limb, which makes it a lot easier. But at the same time, this is still usable as a DirectX file. Okay, it'll still be smooth. It won't be any smoother than it was before. It's just there's more frames. Okay, that's how that works. And then again, you just select the object. Either you're exporting for the single object that'll have the animation in it, or you'll export every single frame. Okay? Alright, thanks for watching.